Awesome. This is the very first time I'm doing this, folks. Let's see how well it goes. I've added a delay, so I really don't know what I look like just yet. Again, as you can see, this is the introduction. I am Fitz. These ramblings are going to be very informal. I'll let everything out there in the description, but this really is just me learning how to set everything up and how to do this. So please bear with me, grow with me, journey down the path with me, leave comments giving me hints, tidbits, whatever. The location is going to change, so if it's anything about the background, don't worry about it. I may hunker down and find a comfortable spot somewhere in our house, but for now, it's just going to be me sitting here and trying to figure out what's what. So, there's a lot more to this than I expected. And like getting the encoding thing, hooking up with YouTube as an actual partner, monetizing, because that might be a thing if our faces don't scare you off. And really, that's about it. It doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a lot more to it than just saying, oh yeah, let's do this, record and go live, or click go live and get streaming and whatever. Yeah, but I am Fitz. That is my last name. That is my full last name. It is not a nickname for anything. Unfortunately, it's a very common nickname for a lot of Fitzpatricks, Fitzgerald, Fitzhughes, Fitzsimmons, whatever. But no, just Fitz. And I have a wife and a 2-year-old daughter. She's going to be 3 in December, so that's awesome. You guys may hear them or see them pop in on some of our casts. They used to on our Twitch, but they don't make a common appearance, I guess. But they're there every now and then. They used to be on our Friday Night Ramblings on Monster Strategies Twitch channel, and our links and everything are on our main channel. Our channel page, what else? I did say this was gaming, so I will address some gaming things that are on my mind. But like I said, this is just the introduction. I want to get this done out of the way, let you guys know what's what, and see if anything's changed or what I need to work on. This may be an awful video, it might be a blank black video, but you know what, I have the power to delete it. So let's get going here. Like I said, this streaming thing isn't pulling up just yet. So there we go. I'll pull up the software. There, now you can see me. Oh, that's awful. I'm sorry for everybody watching. The lighting's bad. Everything's yellow and red and whatever. You should be used to the ugly mug by now, but yeah, like I said, this is very basic. This is the intro, learning everything, so we'll be able to look back at this at some point and laugh and be like, oh my god, that's awful. But for now, this is what it is, and again, locations might change, which means lighting will change, which means hopefully quality will improve. But I think that's long enough without rehashing the things that I have down below for the description, I guess, for this live stream. And these live streams are what it's going to be. And like I said, they're going to be random. Just whenever I feel the need to add on to something, I want to get something off my chest and make things a little more personal, connect with you guys. And so if you guys are watching when it's live, which I highly doubt now since it's midnight, just turned September 12th. Got over a lot of the September 11th posts on Facebook, and I'm not complaining. For those who don't know, I am a veteran. My wife is a veteran. I am a Marine brat as well, so I grew up in it. But I'm not, although patriotic, I am very patriotic, and I am emotional and passionate about things, but I'm not one of those gung-ho, crazy nut jobs that some people associate with all veterans. I promise you I'm not that. let's see what else. Yeah, I mentioned my family already, so that might cause conflicts with timing and getting things up sooner. We're going to try and keep a main schedule for our other uh, videos, like our gamecast, like that when we just announce and commentate, or our podcast where we bring in guests or just discuss or the game, but discuss gaming topics. And so we'll try and keep a regular schedule with that. And Monstrous has the big rig with, computer rig with the whole, the whole suite of software to manage everything, to make things pretty and whatnot. And I did download XSplit and XSplit Gamecast on here, but this is just a Surface Pro 3. So, it gets the job done, sure, but it doesn't have the capabilities to do all the crazy stuff that we do in our regular casts and regular videos. That's why this is going to be more casual, more informal, basically just because I don't have the equipment to make it all fancy. And even if I did, I still want to keep it more casual and relaxed. So, that's what this is all about, this channel here, are these ramblings. And I'm going to create another playlist. I am in charge of the YouTube channel. When I say in charge, I just mean I'm doing the work for it. Because me and Monsters always discuss what we're doing on either of the sides of, whether it's Twitch or now he's going over to Beam. So if anybody knows anything about Beam, that's why our little schedule has been fluxed here. He wanted to start the channel. I was like, sure, let's do it. I'll run it because you run the Twitch side of things and you Twitch cast, stream, whatever it is, almost daily. I think he had one day off. But now with Beam, he found out about it and wants to get in on it early. And so his gaming schedule changed because apparently they have certain windows for you on Beam. I don't know. He does all that. But, so that kind of threw a wrench into our early beginnings and is continuing to be that way. And he's double casting on Twitch to let people know he's on Beam, and then he's going to be on Beam actually doing the cast. So he's going back and forth in that transition period, casting on Twitch, telling people, hey, I'm moving over, and then actually moving over. So that should constitute some sort of gaming topic or discussion. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. And again, I'm in charge of the YouTube stuff, our channel, not quite the videos. For anybody who doesn't know, the videos have to be done, they have to be recorded, they have to be edited, and then since he does all of that, and he sends it to me, and I'm in Texas, I'm in DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, and he's in Canada, he's in Ontario, Canada, and I know where he is, but that's for him to tell you a little more specific if you want, but let him know. But he does all the editing. He's an hour ahead of me, time-wise, and then he sends it to me, and I get it. I download it from the server link he sends me, and then I have to upload it, and uploading takes forever, and then once it uploads, it has to process, and then once it's processed, then it can be viewed. That's the reality of uploading to YouTube, people. If you didn't know, it's not an easy process, or as easy. I don't want to say it's not easy and harp on YouTube, because it's very easy to follow what you need to do. They don't make it difficult to understand. It's just not the idea that some people have that, I'm just going to go to youtube.com, create an account, now a Google account, has been for a while, and then I can just upload videos. There's definitely more to it, and especially if you have more, things in your video, like graphics and audio and different layouts for different formats for different things, yada 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 yada. It just piled up and keeps going and going and going. And of course, you can't have licensed things, copyrighted things, because that's copyright infringement. So interesting thing is with our gaming, I was worried about that because in monetizing it said, you can't use things you don't have a license for. And obviously we do not have a license of distribution for, AAA games or for we have a WWE 2K16 video up, or two of them, I think, at least mention that and show the logo. So, that's what that's all about. Hold on. Ooh, there we go. So, yeah, that concerned me, but apparently it got cleared to be monetized, so that's good. But yeah, when you're reading that and say, hey, you can't put up things that you don't have rights to, that's kind of crazy. That concerns me. And I was like, well, we talk about gaming all the time and mention other games. How are we going to do this? There are instructions in what you can and can't do and how to, I guess, protect yourself from doing anything illegal, because obviously we don't want to do that. Sorry for the massive amount of black space. I don't know which side it's on. We got it showing up on, I think, this side and underneath me. Again, this is brand new, so sorry. And we are going to figure this out. We're going to make this better. We're going to figure out what bit rates, what lighting, what everything is. And with the fact that they've chosen to monetize our gaming videos, it's sort of made a relief for me, because that means we don't have to really do anything extra special. Just keep doing what we're doing. If we mention a thing, say not a sponsor, or give credit where credit's due, give the name of the game, let the people know that it's their product, not ours, and hopefully with the ads coming up with these products or related to the things we talked, that'll help cover it as well. So that's the stuff that's been going on in my head tonight and for the past few days. I was supposed to do this Thursday, and it's Sunday night now, Monday morning, but life happens. I am a full-time student at UNT. As mentioned before, I'm a veteran, so I'm going back to school. I'm trying to get my degree in radio, fun stuff, yay. And I drove all the way up to Denton. It's about a 40-minute to an hour drive just to get up there from the DFW Metro. Now, what else is there? Oh, gaming. To make sure, just in case talking about gaming and getting, concerns about gaming videos on the YouTube monetization thing, everything isn't enough to consider this a gaming video. Don't want to get in trouble for that either. Not quite sure, again, how all the rules and how strict they are, just because we are brand new at this. Let's stick with the popular topic for a while that we've been talking about, Overwatch. Everybody knows Overwatch at this point in time. It's exploded onto the scene. They did a great job marketing. They had a super long time in beta, open beta and closed were available. So no need to tell anybody what Overwatch is. It's on consoles, it's on the PC. Don't think it's on Nintendo. Sorry, I love Nintendo. Maybe when the NX hits, it'll come out on that. I don't know. But that'd be interesting. I really want to see stuff like that. I'm excited about the NX. But the new character Sombra that's been hinted at, that's had this extra reality game or ERG thing going on with it. It just means it's a game within a game, and she's breaking the fourth wall and talking to us and whatnot, and it's being really, really complicated in the coding that they do to hide messages, and people have had to do multiple steps and use different coding languages and find keys to unlock passwords, or not passwords, but ciphers, I guess, to translate these messages. And Sombra's supposed to be in Spanish, She's supposed to be Mexican, so you do all of this work to get a message, and if you don't speak Spanish, you got to translate it again, which isn't hard to do anymore, but it's just one more step for any non-Spanish speakers. And it's mixed. Sometimes it's Spanish, sometimes it's English. But I saw a video the other day on YouTube, and it was addressed by several Overwatch streamers, which there are plenty out there. And I've mentioned these guys before. I don't know how to put the comments or the things on here just yet, so I'm going to say their names, and hopefully you can look them up, and that's good enough until I figure out how to do it for the live streams. Maybe I can edit it later after I'm done streaming, I don't know, but for now we're just going to say Unit Lost Gaming YouTube channel, and there's Force Gaming as well, but I don't think he mentioned it, and one amongst many. Those are the three big ones that I follow for Overwatch news myself. They all have YouTube channels. They all have good production values, unlike this. And they are really fun, and One Amongst Many and Unit Lost are both British. Force Gaming is American, and for fun, you can watch Flick, F-L-I-K, and Flick's Gaming, I think is the channel, and Mr. Fruit Gaming. All of those you can find on YouTube just by using those names, and I hope that's good enough to get to, like I said, because I don't know how to add the typing or whatnot just yet. But they have some good information out there, and Mr. Fruit's more of a comedy, not comedy like stand-up haha, but not too serious type of gaming, like they do Pokewatch, which again, combination of Pokemon and Overwatch, and again, don't know what right lines or whatever, copyright anything, but everybody knows Pokemon. I'm not trying to claim anything from it, but what they do is they pretend they're trainers and send out, they have two people and they send out different Pokemon or different heroes that they hide around a corner, and when they call them out they come to do battle, and it's just funny stuff to watch. Right, so that's Mr. Fruit. It's more comical. He had people send in challenges for him to do, or different types of mini games you can do by building custom matches in Overwatch, which I think is awesome that they're building out from it. Sort of like how Minecraft went from being what I call the digital version of Legos, which I still think it is, to the fact that people took that and they built their own games within that game. And so doing that with Overwatch kind of made me smile a bit, like, oh cool, a game I like, a game I enjoy, that's not taking itself too seriously, I guess, and has the ability to entertain in other ways. Granted, you're going to have a lot of friends that have it, so you can do these types of group events, but it's still cool that it's an ability. But anyway, back to Sombra. Sombra is supposed to be this hacker elite and a bad guy, because people have data mined some voice tracking, and a Reaper, who in the game is a bad guy, and he says, where's Sombra when you need her? Like they're on a team of some sort. So we saw fake images of her. We've seen all sorts of coding within the game that people have discovered and found, and data moshed images on the message board, and data moshed images are just images that are look messed up, they're encoded with something else, and the difference between the regular image and the coded image. So regular image, coded image, and whatever differences there are, you look at those code lines and they give you some sort of message or some chunk of code that you can decipher and use that to create a message or something else. And again, like I said, there's multiple steps and it takes you down the rabbit hole. But these other Overwatch streamers that I already mentioned, the big boys, because Flick, F-L-I-K, he does more like fun stuff with his friends as well. It is fun to watch him game. He's not as goofy as Mr. Fruit, and that's just Mr. But he, Flick, does do stuff like they were notorious for making the whole team of the same hero just to see how well it would do, right? No diversification. Everybody on the team would pick the same character, and that's what they got known for, just kind of screwing around and having fun. They're not being serious. They're not doing it in competitive play. They're doing it in quick play, and they like doing some fun stuff like that. So that's Flick. But like the One Amongst Many and the Unit Lost and the Force Gaming, who do all play for fun and do enjoy themselves and do some of those goofy videos as well, but they're more into the information side, the news parts of it, the actual real life news and sometimes technical specs and whatnot. So those are the big boys. That when I refer to the big boys, it's Unit Lost, One Amongst Many, and Force Gaming. The big boys talk about stuff like that. That's when I really start paying attention to it. And I'm not into the tech. I'm not into delving that deep into it, but it is really good information to have, and they're really good sources for it. And apparently, it seems like Sombra is going to be a stealth hero and give, or maybe not give stealth to their teammates, but maybe have stealth herself. But with some of the, again, data mined, when people are digging around in code that's out there and available for them to get to, they found voice tracks from all the characters talking about there's somebody here, or there's an unknown presence, or I can sense you, I feel you but I can't see you. Things like that make you think there's going to be a cloaked character, some sort of invisibility. And these other guys are also talking about how Widowmaker, the sniper in the game, well, the main sniper, the first, long-range rifle sniper, because Hanzo is considered a sniper, but he's got bow and arrow with chop off. She has sort of fallen out of favor, and they always use the term meta, which is just what everybody's doing at that time. If you ever hear the term meta, that's just, again, what everybody playing that game, the big boys, the serious guys that are playing that game are using. So Widowmaker fell out of the meta, and yes, she's there for countering certain other characters, and that's what they try to balance Overwatch as. Every character has some sort of other character that can counter them, and you just change out when need be to get the objective done on the map, whatever it may be. So she's fallen out of favor, and my curiosity was if Sombra can make invisibility happen. In real life, the harder it is to see a sniper, the more effective they are. Now, in real life, you can increase the range of your weapons through the years, and they have, and we've got some really ridiculous ranges out of sniper rifles nowadays. But in the game's not the real world. The maps are only so big, and there are only so many places you can hide before everybody finds out that you can get to those places and how they can get to them to prevent you from using them. So it's very confined for a sniper, and you only have an advantage for a very short period of time before everybody knows where you are, especially with the tracers, not the character tracer, but the tracers they have on the bullets. So you can see where they were fired from. You see where the shot came from, and that somebody was shooting at you. So maybe if they got rid of that, she'd be a little more realistic, a little more useful, I guess, or more used. But anyway, with Sombra, I was thinking with that invisibility, that would that would give her a huge impact. Again, because as a sniper, she can pull serious shots off from range. When she's fully charged, she does a lot of damage, and depending on how long that invisibility would last, whatever ability that is, she could take out 2, maybe 3 people in a team if she's good, and the team's not too spread out. So that, I was wondering if Sombra might bring Widow back into the meta, or at least make her a lot more effective, because some characters don't really make a difference in invisibility other than the obvious of you can sneak up and get closer to them for your attack. So like you can get in there with a Reinhardt without doing much damage, or getting much damage done to you, and just swing your hammer away because his main attack is melee. Sorry, my watch just hit the table. But I was thinking, if you're doing an invisibility character, and if anybody's watched the Twitch or even the previous channels or videos on the channel, I think I've already mentioned it. I've played City of Heroes and City of Villains. City of Heroes for 8 years, City of Villains for however long it was out before it got canceled, maybe 6 years, 7 years, I don't even know how many years. COH was out before COV released. It was so long ago. But played that on PC, and they had a Stalker, and their main ability right off the bat was to go completely invisible. You had no idea where they were. Their little voice bubbles that showed up, because this is a comic book type based game, showed up with no little stem. They would just show up on your screen in random places if you were speaking in public and you were invisible, so nobody knew where you were. If they had good audio, yes, they could hear you running on things, find out you're on the road or you're in the grass, or if they were smart and there's water nearby, they'd stand in the water and you couldn't get off your main attack, that attack that every stalker has or assassin has, where assassins, they have to get behind you like the backstab attack, and they do critical damage out the wazoo. But with the stalker, you didn't even need to be behind them. You just had to be in that invisible mode, and you nail them with it. The assassin strike, and it took down at least half the life of some of the characters. You could kill instantly with it. Most of the baddies you went up against that were non-player characters, you could kill in one shot with that. Even the bigger guys, especially if you enhanced it. But anyway, what I'm getting at is the only defense for that is an area of effect attack. Now, who has actual area of effect attack? You have explosions that do damage in an area of effect, like the grenades from Junkrat or his mine, obviously. Zarya's secondary fire has a bit of one. Sorry for the yawning. And this is why this is called Ramblings, because I'm going to do this and go off on different branches and whatnot. So this is a prime example of why we can't put this in our regular videos. But, excuse me, jeez, I'm just all sorts of noisy today and this evening. I apologize. But you don't really have, you could put Junkrat's trap down and hope she falls into it, and then, aha, you know where she is. But the explosions, you'd have to spam in all directions all the time and hope they get close. And Junkrats, they have to bounce 3 times before they explode, or impact the person, I think. But yeah, Zarya's explode at least once they land. But again, you'd have to artillery style it and change your ranges or your angle of attack to change the range that they impact on, and keep doing that in a circle to make sure that they don't sneak up on you. So they need somebody that emanates something that does damage, an area of effect centered on a character. So that makes me wonder if there's going to be another character that comes out to counter her. And they have different groups. They have attack, they have defense, different classes, I guess. Attack characters, defense characters, tank characters, and support characters. So attack, defense, tank, and support. I think that's all of them. Yeah. If not, let me know. Comments, and I know I can pop in the game and check. But anyway, right off the bat, and being late and me being tired, that's what I'm seeing it as. But anyway, so she's the 23rd character. Is there 5 sets? Support, defense, attack. I don't know now. And I'm confused. But anyway, 23 is not that. It's a prime number. And she's going to be the 23rd character. And that being a prime number really doesn't mean anything other than the fact that it means that one of these groups has more than others. And I think they're going to balance out and try and make sure each group has the same amount of characters that you can play in it. So, tank, support, offense, defense. Yeah, I've said that, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times now. I'm sorry, guys. But I think they should round it out, like make sure each of them, like 24, that would be 6 characters in each. And if Slumber's the 23rd, then that 24th character could be that area of effect person. And I would put them in defense or something, where they're either quick and can get in and do like a pulse detonation off of themselves, or some sort of electrical field on the ground that keeps going out. Something. Always have something that would counter the invisibility. And right now people are saying that, the whole game's like rock, paper, scissors. If this person chooses that character, then you counter them with another character that counters their pick, and then they see what you choose, and they can counter it if there's problems. Alright? So, that's the whole point of the game. So if you're throwing in somebody who's invisible, what counter do you have to that? There's some grenades that can do damage, but again, they'd have to land near you, and they can see them coming for the most part. The rockets from Farah that with splash damage, but they can definitely see those coming. As far as engagements go, obviously, if you turn a corner and get one in the face, you're just going to get hit. Or if they sneak up behind you, and you being invisible, they not know when you're there, just try and spam an area, and you just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But for the most part, you could be able to get around completely undetected, and you need some sort of something to prevent that from happening. Maybe Winston's shield will disrupt it. That would be a good thing to do, but that's really the only sustained area of effect power that I can think of other than Soldier's biometric field. Throws it down on the ground and heals, but unless they make some sort of weird thing about how that interferes with her technology as well, I'm not sure what they could do other than adding another character, balancing out all the groups and numbers, and having that other character do an area of effect damage. I really like the idea of a character that does area of effect damage. Maybe Athena can come in on that. She's been hinted as another possible future character, and does some sort of, like I said, electrical pulse, like an EMP thing, that would affect maybe Winston's gun as well, since it's a lightning gun, and maybe some other characters' certain abilities of some sort. Maybe Symmetra's turrets or her gun don't work either. They're caught in that EMP pulse, and the stealth doesn't work. I love that idea. I think it's a great idea. I might bring it up in one of our other videos, but it'll be a lot quicker than this rambling was. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think of an area of effect damage dealer, not counting splash damage from grenades and rockets, like a stationary area of effect that you can set up, not his mines, because his mines are centralized on that one area where the mine is and blows up. I mean, like something that you put down like Junkrat's mine, but has a wider range than just where the mine is, that does constant damage or something to nullify a cloak or invisibility type character. or a character that can give group invisibility. So let me know what you guys think. That's it. Had a little introduction in the beginning and talked about gaming stuff. And like I said, I'll probably mention that later and in another video. And hope to see you guys soon. Alright, now let me figure out how to end this thing. Sources, extensions, tools. I don't know. Help me with this.